Hi, everyone. Okay, so I wanted to wait until the 12/12 portal to do the reading as promised for all signs about how we can become the best version of ourselves and what is delaying that, or how can we progressively become aware of what we need to work on in order to do so, walking into 2026. Okay, so the 12/12 portal, 12 being a master number, 12 being 12 zodiac signs, 12 disciples. When you break down the 12, you also um, get a 3, which is growth, progression, expansion. 3 being the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, as well as mind, body, soul. So when you put 2 3s together, right, when they mirror each other, 2 3s together becomes an 8. That's hence where the growth comes in from. So this portal that we've been going, we're now closing out. This portal that's closing out is definitive of finality. We are no longer going to accept anything less than what we so rightfully deserve, right? Let's make that not a New Year's resolution. Let's make that a lifelong commitment to ourselves as we are becoming, especially if you're watching my channel, you know that you have to do the work. I mean, you could buy as many crystals or oils, essential oils, or tokens, or whatever you could pick up that helps to enhance your belief or beliefs that you have, that you may need that crystal or you may need that whatever. But you still have to do the work. So I'm not going to say that spirituality has become, well, I am saying it. Spirituality, especially on YouTube, has become very commercialized in the sense of needing to purchase this, that, and the other in order to receive whatever it is that you're hoping for. Receive peace, freedom, the intention of abundance, etc. So just know that you really don't need all that stuff. It's just a mindset that you may need it for getting more deeper into your faith. It's just, it helps to get you deeper into your faith, but quite frankly, you don't need it. Your faith requires you to be still and know. Not to really necessarily, it's not like doing meditation, mindful, being mindful of what you do and how you do it, setting the pace for journaling, emptying out the trash, as I say that it's always good to empty out what's up here and put it on paper. It's releasing, and in any way, shape, and form that you are releasing and learning how to release is up to you. Whether you have to spend the money to buy certain things to make your faith stronger, then go for it. But you don't need it. Simplicity is authentic. Mindful meditation and or meditation in general is getting out of your mind, getting out of those thoughts, and being so focused and absorbed by what you're doing. That's what meditation is. It's taking a walk and not thinking about anything else. It's doing the dishes, it's cleaning the house, cleaning the clutter, right? So this portal is dictating, from my perspective, a feeling of closing out what no longer serves us for our highest good. and not accepting anything else but what we are, and who we are is the power of the all, right? As above, so below. You breathe in, gratitude, and you release, and you receive. When we pray, I've said it before, but for all of you who haven't seen it, we pray with both our receiving hand and our giving and receiving hand. The right hand extends to say hello, that's giving. The left hand receives. Give and receive. And when we pray, if you do pray or you don't pray, know that there's a reason why we have the right and left hands, our hands, right? Okay. So there's a lot to unpack, and let me tell you right now, whatever is for your highest good, you already know what it is in terms of becoming your highest and best version of yourself. You already know it. You know it in your heart. So sometimes we're not honest with ourselves. Sometimes we need that little push to say, okay, I really need to be truthful about how I act, react, what I say, what I don't say, what I hold back, what I do, what I don't hold back, and how I have in the past, what has triggered me and the patterns that have formed and who I have become it's not like you don't know already. So we're gonna go, let's just start and dive deep. I just found my Threads of Fate. It's the shadow version, which is the version of what Spirit says is for your highest good, right? And it looks like these, right? So we're going to look at that in a minute. Let's get to it real quick. How to become your best and highest version of yourself as we came in pure and authentic. We came in like, let me try to explain it like this. We came in to this world 100%. Every life experience, the fears that have chained us and bound us to believing in certain things, and even the beliefs that we have, everything has to be cleared. Because we didn't come in to this world needing to believe anything except we are 100%. We are the all of the universe. We breathe in and breathe out the universe, the all of love. So we are all love. And every experience, life experience that we have suffered, what we have been through, what we have projected, what we have felt, has etched away from that 100% to a feeling of not believing in ourselves, not being enough, not being good enough. Even though we are the whole of the all, the world, the love of the universe. We hold that within us. So if you are to learn anything, no matter what element of the signs that you hold within you, we have all the elements. We are all the elements. And sometimes we need more fire than we need more air. Sometimes we need more water than we need to water our earth, which is ourselves. So just remember where you came from, and remember that you don't need all that external stuff to believe in yourself. Okay, Aries. To become your best and highest version, what do we need to let go of, or what do we need to learn more about yourselves? Okay? And I do feel that Aries, some of you hold a lot of pain within, mental, emotional, physical even, of what Okay, I'm going to say this as best as I can, where there's fire, where you know something's going to go down and it scares you, you run. Some of you run away from, some of you have, and I'm going to say it, it's here. Some of you have run away from really good opportunities in love because you were too proud to admit, to speak up, to show your heart. Some of you just said, I'm out of here. I don't want to get hurt. Some of you have left relationships even before the pain, even you felt the pain of maybe a past love, and you were like, no, it's better for me to start over again. The mentality that you have held of a perhaps preconditioned mentality of get the fuck out of here. Sorry, I had to say it like that. Before you get hurt. It's like run. It's an escape. Some of you escape by just not committing to anything or anyone just so that you don't get hurt. Mentally, you have been conditioned to believe it's better to not feel this pain ever again. Like, you know, that saying, once is enough, right? You can't start 2026 with this behind you, because it is behind you. This is how it shows up on the... You can't walk into 2026, Aries, with this pain and this, you know, like a mental breakdown of, you know, when you review your year or maybe past several years, you know, you've bolted before you could even give it a chance, or you have given it a chance, and the mere needing to open your heart and be truthful perhaps about how you feel. Like, let me just, because it just came to my head. So Spirit saying, have you been the one to call the shots and to say, I'm out of here, before or right after someone says, I love you, I want to commit a commitment with you? Have you been the one to say, I'm out of here, for fear that you'll get hurt? Or, you know, how far along does it take? Do you start talking about moving in together, or you do move in together, and the first slight of problems, someone says, I'm out of here? Instead of perhaps showing someone, you know, like, I'm not going to put up with the way you talk to me. She's not messing. She has been hurt. So when someone feels the wrath of Aries, instead of being grounded and truthful with your feelings, not saying that you haven't, but maybe it's the way you present yourself, or maybe it's just, I'm out of here is your go-to. I'm out of here because it makes me freak out. It freaks me the fuck out, because, you know, this person is getting ready to leave, or this person doesn't want me in their lives anymore. So instead of having the hurt, feeling that hurt again, you leave. Instead of being playful, right? So this is emotions. These are the fish. So the emotional and mental agility that Spirit wants you to have is to dive deep into how you really feel and express yourself even if you have had pain. We've all had pain. We're here on the earth plane. So, Aries, for you to maintain and to realize and become aware of your highest, becoming your highest version of yourself, is to literally be more playful and be more honest about how you feel instead of running away so that you don't get hurt. And I am going to say, because I heard it, there have been missed opportunities that you could say, yeah, that person was the one that got away. Not for all Aries, perhaps. Maybe looking at your rising and moon will give you a better view of the overall storyline, the narrative. So always, if you want, always look into that. It helps. Because we're not just the sun. We're not just our sun sign. We're not just the masculine, the sun being the father. We're also our feminine side, which probably Aries for you, maybe more getting more into your femininity of your moon. Okay. Taurus. Taurus is always working so hard. I mean, I'm not kidding. You're working hard. Ooh, look at that. Working hard on yourselves. Oh, I like that. Okay, so get out of your headspace. Taurus, what holds you back and to become your best self is going for it. It's like you want to go for it. You want to work really hard. Sometimes you overextend yourself to the point where it's okay. They're saying the moment passes. It's like you have a moment to say something to someone and you can't muster the strength to say it because you're unsure if you say something out of turn or out of line, they may not accept and or love you as much as you love them. I think that truly putting in the work of loving yourself and loving others is about mastering not needing to worry if someone's going to love you in the same breath as you love yourself. Like with all your idiosyncrasies, unconditional love. That's what you're striving for. I mean, we're all striving for it. But Taurus, for you to become your highest self, working on yourself and maybe talking yourself into taking that step, that next step, needing to talk yourself into it and going for it instead of holding back, or instead of, maybe being stubborn about it, or, assessing the conclusion before you even got to the conversation. Does that make sense? Like, I want to feel this unconditional love, but the fear of not knowing if they feel the same way shrinks your progression. It contrasts. So we have a contrast here, but we have expansion here. Got it? So there's this deep love that you have for yourself and others, but your uncertainty lends itself to, to the fear of not knowing if they feel the same way about you. And that not knowing, that uncertainty is your fear. And that holds you back. And that's probably something, it usually is always from childhood. Absolutely. How we grew up. Maybe you grew up in a family a big family, and it was like really uncertain. You were uncertain as to how, with such a big family, how mom and dad felt about you, and you always had to prove yourself. So getting creative. Get creative. Look at how pretty that is. Those are the angel wings. So Spirit's saying get creative and trying to overcome. Try it for like, with your family or your love or your bestie or whatever. Try to get out of that holding in what you really want to say, holding in, or being uncertain if someone really cares about you as much as you care about them. Have you asked? Have you shown this love and believing in yourself to just go for it? Gain the strength of your own value. Gain that strength of your own value, Taurus, that you believe in yourself, in your work. Maybe that's what you need more of, is honoring what you do, loving what you do for work, and all the time and effort that you put into it. Try that out in terms of telling people how much you love them and how much you value their efforts. You put in the effort. Do you believe in the effort that you put in on yourself? And then when you do, you have the ace. Loving yourself means don't question how others love you. And if you have to question it, what's holding you back? What is holding you back? So get creative with the way that you communicate and how you listen. Do you listen? Do you really listen to what someone's saying? Oh, okay, they're giving me that song. Do you hear what I hear? Right, the Christmas song. Do you hear what I hear, Taurus? When someone is talking to you, or when you're having a convo, whether it's work or love, whatever, do you hear what someone's saying? Or do you automatically, your mind's going like, okay, I have to come up with a quick retort instead? Listening, it is a skill, but it's hearing what someone's saying. That's why when you go to counseling, if you've ever gone to counseling, they say, okay, so-and-so, tell so-and-so how you feel. And then the counselor says, okay, so now repeat back what he said or she said to me, so that we know that there's not a confusion of energy that's crisscrossing and you're not listening, or you're not hearing you're listening, but you're not hearing what someone's saying. Okay, that's interesting, right? Okay, let me know. Gemini. Okay, so you came right out in your own read. Gemini, this pain, the pain has brought you to a new level. Oh, I like that. So guess what you've done, Gemini? You've used your pain as a positive, powerful tool to become the Empress. So how do you get to your highest and greatest self? By using the power of your pain to flip it into a tool of gratitude. Like, are we grateful? Have you been grateful for everything that you've learned, including all the pain and the hurt and maybe abuse, mental abuse, and others telling you that you're not good enough. Have you turned that into your power? I would say yes, but for some of you, if you're still working on it, then that's what you need to work on. Are we grateful, Geminis, for every painful act of insincerity, disloyalty, you know, people not believing in Gemini, people hurting you, even verbal attacks upon you, jealousy, etc., and then you turn it around to become the Empress, right? So your transformation is coming through loud and clear, Gemini, as your pain turns into power, but not egoic power. Your pain turns into a powerful reflection of how you feel inside. I've healed to become the Empress because I have understood and do understand that my pain not only exemplifies how someone hurt me, but I took it deeper. And I now understand that the pain that I suffered for others is the pain that you suffered because others were in pain. And I've realized that to become the Empress, I don't need to own the pain. I don't own it, and it doesn't own me. I've turned it to, that's Zeus drinking water, sorry, if you can hear that. I've turned that pain into power, becoming who I rightfully am, and not needing to, it's like anyone or anything that has caused you this pain in your life, Gemini, you send them love and light and you move on. And that's how you become your greatest self, is to turn that. Because why? Because we have the power, as I mentioned in the intro. We do have the power. And the power is to become the master of your own domain, and not for anyone or anything to take over your pain. And you don't hold on to that pain. Because why? You've trusted. You trust. Look at that. As above, so below. The lotus flower. That's exactly what has happened. You have trusted and entrusted. You have trusted that with everything that you've been through, you've turned it around, because you understand that this pain is not yours to own. This is someone else's pain as well, that you picked up along the way. I'm not saying you haven't had pain from your past. I'm saying the pain is not only yours, it's another's. So when you release the pain of another by trusting that you don't own it and it doesn't own you, you trust the universe and you become the Empress. And you realize the connection, because the Empress masters her own domain. She's been through it all. All right. And that's what we're all here to do. We're all here to take that pain and turn it around. Flip that switch. Like, okay, I own it only for the time that I feel it and I move through the pain. I'm going to move through the pain by journaling, by crying it out, by being, absorbing what I needed to learn from that experience or those experiences. And then I give it back to that person because they too are in pain. And that's how you flip it. Cancers. Okay, the Empress came out again, so I'm going to take another one with the Empress. Oh, I love this. Wow. Okay. All right, I like that. And you do have the 3, and I didn't mention that in Gemini, but the 3 is the growth that you have felt about yourselves. I'm going to take another, I don't know, I had to take another one. Okay, so some of you have found for your highest and best self to be revealed, which it's here, people see you as no longer putting up with, I'm going to say, the shenanigans of others, like emotional and mental, right? How you become seen and heard is that you don't put up with, and that is the key for cancers, is to say, I'm out of here. If it doesn't, if I don't feel that I already know who puts me, who raises me up, okay, what's that song? You raised me, the Rose. Some of you know that song, Bette Midler. That's what I'm hearing. You raise me up. And also Chris Tomlin's Rise or something. Okay, so I'm hearing those songs because you're out of here if you don't feel that people understand where you're coming from. Especially if people don't realize how big your heart is and how much you give, not only to yourself but to others. Emotionally and mentally, you check out. So to be your highest and best self, if someone doesn't recognize your efforts emotionally and how you may or may not express how you feel, and they either get it or they don't, that's when you check out. If they don't get it, you check out. If they do, then they're for you. Then they, then they have a seat at your table. I feel that you have had to walk away with those people who have been blinded by either you not opening up or opening up to the point where it was like too much. I mean, can that happen? Yeah, for sure. Because you have the Empress here. So you have raised your vibration and or are raising it now as we speak, Cancers, to go into the new year as the Empress, being seen for the hard work and the effort that it takes. And those people who can't stick around, it's because they are closed off in their hearts and very narrow-minded. So if you're still feeling narrow-minded and can't open your heart, you may want to think about this in terms of what you've needed to see in yourself, and maybe others have seen it or others haven't seen it. Got it? So the people, places, and things that you have no longer attached yourself to is the freedom that comes with how you feel about the people, places, and things that that you've encountered, right? If people don't see you, and more importantly, cancers, is people don't see your heart. And sometimes cancers, I'm going to tell you, you hide your heart because it's a protection. It's your safety. It's like your safety net. And the way to raise your vibration, if you have held back how you really feel and maybe haven't told people, or you've left places that didn't feel right, that's what you're learning now. Surrender. So that is what you're doing. For some of you, you are surrendering by acknowledging how you feel and either expressing how you feel to others, or you have held back. And that's what you are learning, how to surrender. Like, you and I both know that the only way someone is going to match your heart with theirs is if you surrender needing that to happen. I don't really need someone to feel this way about me if they don't, and accepting that. And or if it's you, accepting that sometimes you have to let go and surrender the outcome if they don't feel the same way you do. If someone doesn't raise your vibration, or maybe you're hiding how you truly feel because you know what? Surrendering is to be vulnerable. And sometimes that scares the most scariest part of every sign is the element that they hold, what they came in to be. So for cancers, it's your home, it's your heart. So you're not going to let people in until you kind of know. But I feel Spirit saying to become that Empress and to be your highest self walking into 2026 is to surrender the need for, number one, to know if they feel the same way, and to be vulnerable and show someone how you really feel, and or express it through expression or action. We seem to forget what it's like to be a kid again. Kids don't hold back. Kids are resilient. Kids are like, and maybe this is the reason, cancers, it's like, I am still wanting to be the kid within. We still are the child. We still have the child within, but as we grow up and we get hurt and things happen and responsibility takes over and this and that, we forget how to become vulnerable. We forget that even exists, quite frankly. You know what I mean? So be vulnerable. Okay. Leo. Leos. Wow. Leos. Anytime, maybe not anytime, I feel that anytime you are up to bat, per se, let's say, up to bat to go for it, you stop. You hesitate. It's like, I want to risk it all. I want to give my whole heart. I want to tell someone exactly how I feel, how much I love them, how much I value them, being with them. And yet, when I do, somehow it doesn't work out like I thought it would, how I thought it would. So I hold, sometimes, do you hold back or do you just let it all out? Like, no filter. Leos, you don't need a filter. But when it comes to your heart, if you do put it all out there, I feel that you get really defensive. It's look at the action here, right? It's almost as if when you give your all, or when you don't. So that's the question. To be your highest and best self, do you give it all you've got? Or are you afraid that if you were to do that, or if you have done that in the past, it comes up, what is it, crickets? If you give it all you've got, then someone like, you know, you may feel like, well, they just rained on my parade, because maybe, okay, they're saying, I told this person I love them and I didn't hear it back, or when I did hear it back, it didn't feel real. So you put it out there, and okay, for a smidge, it's almost a people-pleasing type of action, just saying. So you find there's like a crack in the foundation, because are you doing it to, are you going for it because you want that for real, or is that an illusion? You know what I mean? Like when you give it your all, do you know what it feels like? Sorry, it's like bangs. Okay, some of you just cut your own bangs. Hello. All right, do you know what I'm saying? When you give it your all, have you been upset because you don't feel it reciprocated? Or have you held back giving it your best shot because you get up against, you have resistance? There's resistance here. So it's one or the other. You either give it your all or you don't. And depending on your circumstances, life circumstances, and your childhood, you know, what you were taught comes out. The Magician. Is it real or is it not? Seriously. Does what you show to the world the real you, or is it an illusion? This is about how you show up, and you either give it your all or you don't. And if you do give it your all, and when you give it your all, is it real, or is it the illusion of, I want perhaps the attention, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to, you know, I'm going to go for it, but are you going for it because you want that attention? And don't get mad at me. This is like, you know, this is the raw truth of how you have interacted, perhaps even when you were a kid. Did you do stuff with your mom and dad? Did they ask you to do things that, you know, you just like went along, you played along, but you really didn't want to do it? Did you feel that love, or was it fabricated? The magician can pull, right, the rabbit out of the hat, right? And the question is, Leos, do you know the difference? That's what is going to raise you up and become your best self and highest version, is to show instead of being a showman. The showmanship is one thing. That's the act. But what you show up in heart, does that really match how you feel? Comment below. Okay, Virgos. 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 Let's talk about how we love. How do we love? How do we communicate love, Virgos? I feel that some of you are afraid of truly sticking it out. Like when the going gets tough, it's like you find this, that, and the other thing to convince yourself that that person is no longer right for you. It's almost like, you know, you feel that something's coming down the pipeline, meaning you feel like someone doesn't love you the same way you love them. Let's just say. I mean, you are Gaia. You're the Empress. Meaning you are the earth plane. You are the earth of the feminine earth. So you are very feminine. That's why we have the moon here. And very in tune with your intuition, again. So you know, Virgos, that when someone's getting ready to get the heck out of there, you'll find every which way to Sunday to say, well, it wasn't worth it. Because this went wrong, this is wrong, they're not this way, they're not that way. And sometimes the actual pointing of one's, let's say, faults are the things that you felt within yourself. So in order to avoid the confrontation of someone may or may not want you the same way you want them, or vice versa, you leave. You show up and you love and you give love and you show your love. But the minute you intuitively feel that someone's not feeling you anymore like that, or they're not giving you that look in your eyes, you're out of here. And you will find every way to convince yourself that it was the best way to go, that someone walked out of your life. So Virgos, for you, the truth does hurt. Of course, it hurts. But in order for you to accept that pain, you are a master at convincing yourself it was the best way, because they didn't want this, that, and the other thing that I want. They don't see how hard I work. They blah, blah, blah. You'll find every reason to say, well, I didn't feel the same way either. Just to kind of come into an acceptance, if you will, of the situation ending. So you have mastered being conditioned, and or you have been conditioned in love, where when you grew up, some of you grew up maybe hiding how you really felt, because when you did really put it all out there, you didn't get back everything that you put in. And for that reason, you were like, I'm not going to do that again. And some of you show your love through the physical body being here, right? Very important. Some of you have been so masterful at the physical body of a relationship that it hasn't been able to grow and to ascend because of your fear of putting it all out there. Some of you need to know that boundaries are good, and or people have put up boundaries because maybe, they have felt that. It's interesting. They're telling me that you love so hard, that death and rebirth becomes your boundary for giving love so deep. Got it? It mirrors you from not giving your all. So what you do, some of you find the essence of the physical, sex, making love, whatever you want to call it, the act of love, for not being loved before. You use that's your boundary. The physical chemistry has to be there, but that's the boundaries, that's as far as you go, let's say, for some of you, especially when you have that feeling that someone's like getting ready to leave, or you are. You only take it so far. That's why I needed these 2 cards. You only take it so far, because you have felt like love came with conditions. And because of that, you've now incorporated a conversation with yourself that it's okay, because I didn't love them that much anyway. So you conditioned yourself to believe that giving it your all is very difficult. Let me know if that resonates. Okay. that actually, I was a little sad with that one, Virgos. Because everyone has grown up with parents that we felt we had to prove ourselves, or there was conditions, and that hurts. Okay. And that is a mother, maybe son and or daughter issue. Okay. Libra. Being your best self. Libra. Wow, look at that. Libra, I'm telling you. I am telling you. Being your best self means putting yourself out there and not caring what anyone else thinks after that. Sometimes you shy away from your own stage, because this stage of this life is a stage. It's you know, we're all actors and actresses on this stage of life, and you tend to not want that limelight, even though it exemplifies the beauty that you hold within. And that's all right, Libra. We're going to do a second video. This is a continuation because I'm not deleting the first video. Okay, so Libra, in order for you to get that balance in your life and to be your best self, is you got to put yourself out there. Not egoically to be seen. It's not that. It's owning your power. It's like showing your creativity to the world. Whatever it is that you do, whatever you love to do you show it to the world? Are you showing it to the world? Got it? Because this is a beautiful depiction of, you know, that you have some really innate, beautiful, creative qualities within you. Are you, number one, utilizing them? And number two, if you are already utilizing them, why are you not showing them and or serving as a service? Maybe doing what you love in service will allow you to not be so worried about being seen, as you look at it as in another angle, as another perspective of not showing off, but using your talents to be seen. And what you love to do. So the question is, are you doing it? Are you doing what you love to do? Not to be seen, but to serve. And you have a reason, as we all do, to be here. Are you using that? And are you finding compassion within your own self to master owning as you show up, instead of showing off your creativity, your innate abilities? You already know intuitively what you need to do. You do. And that is about being compassionate toward yourself. Showing others your compassion doesn't constitute being a doormat. Taking your power back. And that's come up in a lot of readings, quite frankly, for you. That's come up in a lot of readings for Libras. No more, you know, dumbing down because everyone's, you know, tells you, or you believe it yourself. You have to believe in yourself, Libra. You don't have to, but that's how you're going to become your highest and best self, walking into 2026. And that is going to take you throughout the whole year. Whatever you do for work, or let's say I don't see it as work, even better. Okay, Scorpios. Scorpios. How do we lose ourselves? How do we lose ourselves in a mindset that is narrow? That's what I heard from Spirit. Do you lose yourself by convincing yourself mentally that, you know, if I do this, this will happen. If I do that, that'll happen. If I say something, you know, the inability to really pour out everything. This is a showmanship of being your authentic self here. Showing the world you without needing to experiment what you say, or honestly, for some of you, walking on eggshells with people or trying to people please to the point where you're like, now I can't, I'm not being my authentic self. I'm doing too much for others, and I'm not valuing what myself. I'm saying yes when I want to say no. I'm going here and I'm doing this and that, and honestly, I know better. I know better. Look, she knows better. She's got the book of life. She's in all white. You know your authentic self. So to become your authentic self, not being in a mental prison, being imprisoned by your thoughts. It's not good for a water sign to be like an air sign. You know what I mean? It's like your thoughts consume you, and that holds you back. And then if you are experimenting by saying something to someone, or you have in the past told your honest to goodness truth and it wasn't well received, then you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that I said that, or I can't believe someone else said that. So showing the world your authentic self means no holds barred. Is be yourself no matter what people are going to think of you. Who cares? Are you there yet? Are you at the precipice of changing? Who cares what they are going to think of me? Because I'm going to make the choices for my life that are going to excel. I'm going to excel and be the best version of myself, and I don't care what others say or think. And I don't care if, the only thing is, if you have been really up in your headspace, that's not a good place for water to be. I know we all need air to breathe, but you're the fish, not the Pisces, but you are in the deep subconscious waters of your emotions. And if you're in your headspace too much, it's like you can't breathe. It gets overwhelming. Does that make sense? There's too many. Do you know what I mean? It's like a water sign needs to feel and needs to not care how you talk to yourself, how you talk to others. Just be yourself. And sometimes you feel like you have to walk on eggshells because you may have done that in your childhood or in relationships where you couldn't be yourself. So why would you stay if you can't be yourself? The Weaver. Look at that. You're needing to balance how you perceive yourself authentically and out of your headspace. Getting out of this limited belief. This is masculine. So your masculine side is sometimes overrides your femininity of who you really are and can become. So you need to find, for those Scorpios that this resonates with, you need to find a balance about how much you feel and how much you don't feel like yourselves. And when you're in your headspace too much, it's creeping. It's like this panic ensues, this anxiety ensues. Oh my God, now I can't be myself. And all I want to do is just show up as me. And I don't want to have to please everyone else but me. But you have been. and too much of being out in the headspace. It's like, and that's what this is. Like overthinking too much, negative talking to yourself, worrying about what others may think. So walk into 2026 with a caring and love, but not caring to the point where it's going to shriek your abilities to be your authentic self. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Saggies. Saggies. So, after all the pain that you have had to overcome, do you still find yourself feeling that love? Saggies. Can you overcome, and have you overcome, the brilliance that you are and the blessings that you've received even after heartbreak? Do you feel the heartbreak, or do you not allow the heartbreak to be felt? Does that make sense? Do you just keep moving? It makes you stronger, but does it lose the power of love that you have for yourself? Does that lessen? So the lessons in love that have been hard to, that bitter pill to swallow, has it ruined your ability to love yourself, or has it allowed you to love yourself more? Got it? The ability to love yourself even through all of the pain. They're telling me painstaking makes total sense where the word comes from. This is painstaking. Has it allowed you to be more courageous and be grateful for the blessings of those painstaking truths that others didn't deserve you? Or do you bypass that in love? Does that hold you back? Like I said, does it lessen the belief that you have of loving yourself? Or not? Right? It totally makes sense. There's painstaking truths that you have found through every painful ending of what people have said, what people have done to hurt you. Do you take that to heart? Or does that strengthen the love for yourself? Dare to dream. Dare to allow all of the painstaking truths to give you more accessibility of unconditional love for yourself. So dream big in love. Show your love without reservations. Show your love without the painstaking truths that others thought of you were really about them. Dream big in love, and you shall receive. Some of you have been dreaming, perhaps, of a love so big, meaning the ace. So you're walking in to 2026 as your highest and strongest self, as long as this does not lessen the love that you have for yourself. Don't allow that to happen, and dream big again. Because you may be putting some guilt and shame and worry onto you yourself. That Three of Swords doesn't necessarily mean it's others. Whatever has ended, you may have felt so guilty or ashamed or too prideful or whatever negativity you convinced yourself of having because you walked away or they walked away. And that can really change the way we love ourselves. And Spirit's saying, don't let it. Don't let that change the way you are or the way you have always thought and felt of love, because you are the all of love. And just because it has perhaps scarred you to a point where you're like, you know, I don't feel I can find that big love again, that's not true. But you have to dream it, meaning you have to believe in it in yourself. Okay. Capricorn. Capricorn. This love that we take to a higher plane, the love that you have given or that you will be given this love once you believe it in yourself. This is masculine, this is feminine, and the two balance out the love that you have for yourself. And it does not require, okay, that's what I'm hearing, it does not require diplomas, attributes, attention, recognition. It doesn't. It only requires your heart to feel whole and to be ready to receive the blessings. Sometimes you have had to, I am going to say it because Spirit's saying it. I feel there have been times where you might have left opportunities in love because you didn't feel that they saw you clearly from the heart. Maybe they only wanted you from the headspace, their headspace. They only wanted your love for the accolades instead of how you really showed your love. Or is that the love that you have for yourself? Do you feel that love needs the accolades and the recognition and the accomplishments? You know, this is attainment. Do you believe that you have to, Capricorns, do you believe that you have to like fight for the love and get to the climb the highest, be the best, climb to the top, be, you know, climb the ladder, be the best, go through all the pain and heartache to receive this kind of love? That's what you may perceive it as, when it's really a free and easy, I want to give you my heart. I don't have to prove myself. When the heart knows, it knows. It doesn't doubt, it doesn't question, it just goes with the flow. And that's what either you are in search of now, or you have had in the past, and you want that again, or you have it already, or you're walking into 2026 with a clean, absolutely clean slate. But don't interject the need to be the best in order to get the best. You are the best already. Does that make sense? And that's the paradox. So don't make it harder than it already is. Because it does, when it's right, there needs to not be a paradoxical influence, if you will. Just let it flow. You don't have to climb this mountain. You don't have to endure hardship. You don't have to work hard for it. When it's right, you know it. And that's what Spirit's saying. To be your highest and best self. Clear all of that, maybe what you always thought came with the freedom to love another as you love yourself, does not require you to be anything but yourself. And it doesn't require you the accolades and the recognition and the attention or any of that. That's all hearsay. That's what you've been conditioned to believe. You don't, when it's right, you'll know it. And you don't have to work hard for it. We didn't come here to work that hard. We came here to master ourselves first, and that's the hard work. Aquarius. Aquarius. So Aquarius, this is the hardest part, isn't it? The hardest part is to become reborn, born again, after so many tests and trials and tribulations of what you've had to endure. All the endings, not just with maybe physical endings of passed on loved ones, but also the old you is now changing. You're transforming. You're going through it right now. The transformation, however, is begging you not to take any parts of your old self with you. Do not let let any old attachments hinder the work that you're doing on yourself. So, some of you do, and I'm going to say it, some of you escape your own reality, your own pain by overworking. That's your escape route. I'm too busy, I'm working. I don't want to talk about it. I've said enough. I feel as if your rebirth walking into 2026 is begging you not to escape from your own self, and do not take any of the pain from your past self into your future self. Or let's say the next chapter of your 2026. Taking responsibility and accountability for the times that you have probably, they're saying, escaped by the skin of your teeth. Relationships, jobs, whatever. Just because it was like, oh my God, I know this isn't right for me. Because you are the sign that knows. So sometimes you have overworked or you overcompensate with work to avoid this pain. So you do have to, part of a rebirth is you do have to walk through the pain in order to let it go. And part of the pain is part of the things that you've had to let go over the course of years that you didn't recognize. Maybe you don't even recognize yourself right now as you're going through it. To become your highest version is to know and not be so much in your headspace that it takes you out of this headspace and overthinking and negative talking and the things that you have probably believed yourself to be is no longer who you are. And that is how you're going to get out of what you used to be, which is way too much up in your headspace and escaping reality. By convincing yourself or talking yourself in and out of stuff or relationships or people or whatever, jobs. You have to walk through the pain. You have to walk through the fire. That's why this looks like this. You have to walk through the fire to get to the other side. You can't close your heart off. How long can you close your heart? How long? How many painful truths of who didn't belong in your life and how you thought of yourself in those relationships have to go. Got it? And that's when your heart will open once again, is when you allow yourself to feel that pain. Feel it, deal with it, and let's transition it. That's how you flip the switch. Pisces. Pisces. Putting in so much hard work. Putting in the hard work, even when you're in the throes of the flames, the throes of temptation, wanting it to work so bad. Is that part of what, to become your highest and best self? Do you believe, Pisces, that you have to put in so much work and effort and it still becomes either someone leaving, right? Even after all the hard work that you put in, even after this big heart of compassion that you are, the empathy that you give to others, even after all of that, do you feel that you have to be all that in order for others not to be either tempted to stay or tempted to go, quite frankly? And that's in every aspect. Do we feel, Pisces, that it takes just so much hard work? And why can't it be easy? These are karmic relationships. You are the karmic sign in the 12th house. These endings are begging you to release needing to have to put in so much work and giving so much of yourself, mentally, physically, and or spiritually even. It almost is to the point where it overrides the need, the work that you feel you have to put in so much of, overrides the joy of the moments, the joy of the time that you have spent with people in your life. It overrides it because you're wanting to put in that work, and that's a sign of doing so much when you don't have to do that. So you're going to have to get through it through the throes of passion, temptation, accepting that others come and go, and life is ever changing. So I feel that you, if anyone knows that, it's you, by the fact that you're the 12th house of karma, which is, listen, I know things end. I'm like very much aware of it, but the grasping and holding on and working on it so hard makes the joy of this moment gone. I don't know, The Outlaw of Josie Wales. I don't even know. I forgot what that was about, but something about that. Something about country music, loving country, maybe going to another country makes you feel, I feel that, okay, so that's what they're saying. Allowing yourself to be completely different, loving, like maybe you love rock and roll, listening to country music, or getting spiritually into music's something that soothes the soul. So for all of the work that you have put in and the hardship of all these mountains, right? Okay, so that's what they're saying. Oh, I love that. What's that song? Walking in my boots. These boots are made for walking. That's it. So another aspect of this, Pisces, is do you bolt? Do you flee the scene because you're the rebel? And because you're saying, I put in all this work and effort and give so much of myself that the minute that someone doesn't respond in the same way, I know that it's going to end anyway, so I'm out. If you haven't walked in my boots, right? These boots are made for walking. So if you haven't been the one as the outlaw, perhaps, I feel that for some of you, those people, places, and things that you have had to leave have begged you to appreciate the moments while you're in the moment. Appreciate every moment, because we know, don't we, Pisces, that the moment doesn't last forever. And maybe some of that is regretting that you didn't stay in the moment and the moment passed. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. This became a 3-part series of going through all the signs because they were long. So I'm going to merge them all together, and you guys will have them by the end of the day. I love you guys. Remember the portal. Remember why we are here, to be our highest self and best self. I hope that this did help you. I wish you nothing more than love, safety, protection, prosperity, and many blessings, good health for the new year. As we are continuing to work on ourselves, 2026 will be different on my channel. I am going to open up a membership only to those who have really been truly supportive of this channel. All right, and of me. All right, take care. I love you guys.